This tattoo will be faster than it took me to set up. What's up, guys? We are mic'd up with IGoByWong.com. We are here today with Stephanie Bowman. Stephanie is the founder, creator, chief, head honcho over at One Heart for Women and Children. Can you tell us a little bit about One Heart?
Absolutely. First, I just want to thank you. This is so awesome being here with you today.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, and following you and just watching you grow, not only as a business, but as an amazing leader in the community. One Heart for Women and Children. We help families. We help women, children, and families as a whole in the greater Orlando area. Been doing it about 15 years, and really, we just meet people where they are. I think that that's the beautiful part. We can't expect or ask anybody to be someplace that they're not. So we meet people where they are, and find out a little bit about how they ended up where they are, and just to check it out and kind of see how we can live life with them and help them to transition from one spot to the next. And it's not just living, it's mind, body, spirit. So we help with food first. Food's the connector. Food is the necessity. When we have fresh food, or at least fresh food options, and people can really have a fighting chance to be able to think a little clearer, and health wise, it helps tremendously.
Yeah. One thing that I really like, I know me and Kingston came out and helped out, pass some Thanksgiving food out once upon a time. And one thing that I really liked is that you guys, led in prayer before we all went out and met these people that needed to eat on Thanksgiving.
I love that part. I think that shows some of the unity, some of the connection, and also letting people know that whatever their faith is or whatever their belief is, that we all believe in something greater than ourselves, and it also reminds us that we are a team, no matter what we believe in, no matter where we slept the night before. That we're all here just loving each other and loving the community, one person at a time. I've got a great story to share. We've got a woman that she was really struggling with her faith, and she didn't pray with us. She didn't want to be part of the circle 2 different times, 2 months in a row, and we sat and we met, and she asked, she said, how come you guys pray? Like, what about people that don't want to pray? I said, you don't have to, and if you want to just bow your head or look up at the sky or look at somebody else or close your eyes or not be a part of it. And she said she felt excluded when she was not a part of it, which of course was choice. And I love that she went home and reflected on it and really put some thought into it. And so when we met, we were talking about that, and I asked her a couple questions and let her, do all the talking. So that third month, when we circled up, one of the things that we do is we ask, would somebody like to lead the prayer? And she said, I would.
Amazing.
And she wrote something herself. And she said, I thank you all for meeting me where I was and allowing me to step back and not be a part of. She said, but this is what I learned when I did that. So she talked about her learned opportunity, and it was for, respecting herself and doing what she thought that, what she wanted to do. And what she did is, we had 2 teenagers that didn't want to be a part of the circle. And as soon as she said that, they both they both took a step in. And I love that they took a step in. So we were a complete circle, and she led it in such an amazing way that it was invited by all.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge believer, just for me and the things that I've gone through in life. I know that faith and Christ in your heart is nothing that you can you can't push it on people. And I think like even this with this story, you did the right thing by just letting her find that herself.
Yeah.
So I know for me, it was the same way. I had to kind of, come to a point where I just wanted it and needed it.
Mm-hmm. 24 years ago, when, matter of fact, right now, like this date, 24 years ago, Amber and Katie and I were homeless in the Paramore Anderson downtown Orlando area. And I had veered away from anything that had to do with God or love or really humanity. And we were eating out of dumpsters, and I was full on in my addiction, running from the domestic violence at the same time with my young children. Amber was 6 and Katie was 6 months old.
Wow.
And I was putting Amber in dumpsters for food. No mother, no child, no human, nobody should ever have to do that. Although it's part of our story. And
I think a lot of that, your backstory also gives you a little more empathy for the people that you're actually helping now.
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I think there's nothing that anybody can say to me that there's a shock factor at all. And I'm grateful that people met us where we were uh, back then and throughout this whole journey. Um, there was a woman that she would walk by and she'd want to come over pretty close and start praying, and I would take 2 steps back and sometimes run the other direction. And it one day something changed, and she prayed for us. And it was also the day that DCF found us, and my kid Amber and Katie ended up going to foster care that day. And my life, that was the first day of the beginning of my new life, and it was so beautiful. And again, it was people loving us right where we were, and people um, like I thought that I thought God stopped loving me, with the stuff, the domestic violence and the rapes and the drug addiction and just all of it. I thought that I knew God loved other people, but I sure didn't think God loved me because of some of the decisions and some of the things that happened. And what I know today is that, I veered away from God. God never left me, but also allowed me to walk through what I walked through because it gave me strength.
It's a great thing about faith. It's a great thing about God.
Mm-hmm. Strength.
Okay, I wish this interview was a little longer, but the tattoo is tiny, so hopefully Stephanie gets a full sleeve one day like her daughters are doing. But thank you so much for sitting down with me today, and can you just drop a website, or how can people find One Heart and more information on One Heart?
Absolutely. Our Instagram is One Heart Matters. Facebook, One Heart for Women and Children. Our website is oneheartorlando.org. If you're ever looking for an opportunity to come volunteer, whether it's taking food out to the homeless, or working in the thrift store, sorting food, or working one-on-one with families, we're always looking for volunteer opportunities. Also, if you have a company or a team that wants to do a big team group opportunity, team building, we do a lot of that as well. But we thank you.
Awesome. Thank
you.
you.
We love you.
Hug it out.
Yep, you got it. Yeah.